This story occurred in the far north. A man was traveling in a forest and he encountered an enormous wolf. The man was terrified to death and he was unable to see initially that the wolf was trapped. The wolf appeared exhausted. Plainly, a lot of time had gone by since the wolf fell into the snare. The man came nearer and inspected the creature. He saw her swollen areolas where there was milk. It turned out that there must be ravenous pups someplace close by. Before we continue, welcome back to our channel where you can learn about really interesting stories with valuable lessons. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification button to stay updated to our new videos. In spite of her weariness, the she-wolf didn't let the man come near the trap. It was important to save her, so he kept glancing around, and then he went to look for little pups. A couple of moments later, he figured out the wolf den's location. The man then brought his hands to his mouth and tried to make the howl of the wolf to call the pups. Nobody showed up. He attempted once more, and to his amazement, he figured out how to get the little guys to emerge from their homes. Clearly, they were hungry. It was hunger that made the puppies come out. The man took them and put them into his backpack, and he brought them to the spot. The man saw that the she-wolf was sitting very quietly and staring at him. Obviously, she smelled her little guys and was tensely waiting for them. The man released them and they cheerfully rushed to the injured wolf. She sat down and the little wolves began sucking her milk. However, while he was moving towards the she-wolf, the man saw a dead deer's body. So in the wake of taking the puppies back, he promptly went to bring it. This food was sufficient for 2 or 3 days for the she-wolf. The man set up a campground and remained there for the evening. Toward the beginning of the next day, the puppies woke up, energetically licking and sniffing the man's face. The wolf watched this with excitement, and afterward, an idea came to the man's head. He said to himself, "Consider the possibility that I attempt to gain the confidence of the beast. Perhaps then I will have the ability to spare her from the trap in the following days." The man chatted with the she-wolf for quite a long time, fed her, and gradually started to move toward her. The she-wolf valued the endeavors of the man and permitted him to get somewhat nearer to her. Once, while feeding her, he saw a slight swaying of her tail and he concluded that he needed to act. The man took a cover, wrapped it on his hand, and sat close by. She was so near that she could hold his throat without any effort, but she allowed him. Furthermore, sitting close to her on the cold ground, the man went to sleep. In the morning, he was awakened by the soft wolf puppies. The man was exceptionally energized and upbeat that he was as yet alive. It was a great opportunity that he was unable to pass upon. The man put his hand on the wolf's harmed leg and the wolf started shivering, however, gave no indications of animosity. At that point, the man released the little beasts. The helpless fellow would expect the she-wolf to get her paws and leave. However, the man was astounded when she came up to him with the puppies and started licking his hands, and after that, the most unimaginable thing occurred. The rescuer of the she-wolf understood that she was calling him to go with her. He was astonished by this behavior, so he pursued the she-wolf and she took him to the forest's depth. Eventually, they arrived at a place with a wonderful lake. The man saw that a wolf pack of 8 grown-up creatures and a few little guys lived in the spot. The wolves welcomed the she-wolf with a sad howl. The wolf with her puppies joined the pack, and obviously anybody would disagree to be in such a spot, yet he was not scared. Despite what might be expected, he felt as though he were important for the pack. A little later, it was getting dim. Therefore, the man decided to ignite a fire and set up a shelter. He saw the silhouettes of wolves moving in obscurity. He had an odd inclination, uncommon esteem, and a reunion with Mother Nature. He was not scared of the wolves. He realized they would not do any mischief to him. He spared the she-wolf and she brought him into her home. In appreciation, the man woke up with the first beams of the rising sun. He understood that the time had come to leave the she-wolf and the spot. When he was preparing to leave, the she-wolf was close by. Sadly looking at him, the man left. While walking away, he paused for a second and then decided to turn around. What did he see? It was astonishing. The wolf and her little puppies were directly at a similar spot. They were taking a gander at him as though they were going with him along the road. The man lifted his hand and waved goodbye to him. The she-wolf addressed him with a long, melancholy howl which rang out through the backwoods. However, what occurred next surely be extraordinary. After 4 years, the man came back to the same spot, strolling through the forest. As he was walking, he saw a trap. It was the very trap from which he had spared the she-wolf. It was on a similar tree where he had left it. Memories overflowed the man, and something caused him to go to that plain where he had seen the she-wolf and her puppies the last time. He saw a tremendous bear close to the lake. The bear smelled a human and ran toward him. This scared the man, which made him jump to the top of a tree. The bear began climbing the tree for the prey, therefore he decided to howl just like a wolf for a few times. The man was ready for the most awful destiny of his life. However, unexpectedly, something made the bear think back and slide from the tree to the side of the lake. There was a big number of wolves coming close, getting defensive and growling outrageously. They made the bear disappear from that place. Then all the wolves left aside from one. The wolf that stayed was staring at the man for quite a while. Indeed, it was that she-wolf that he spared 4 years back. After that, the she-wolf ended the silence of the backwoods with a goodbye howl, and she ran toward her companions. Before long, the man left the woods and stayed away from that place forever. Nonetheless, now he had the most distinctive memory that stayed with him for his life. This experience consistently reminded the man that in nature there are things that are outside the laws of human comprehension. For this short period of time, a man and a harmed wolf defeated hindrances between one another and strangely infiltrated each other's reality. Despite the fact that it might appear to be outlandish, fellowship between a man and a wild monster can be so astonishing. That was our story for today. If you enjoyed it, make sure to give us a like, subscribe, and share the video with your friends. Thanks a lot for watching. See you soon!